Hello. Hi. It's been a little bit longer than expected, but Scout Rifle time. As you can see in the background, our first Scout Rifle is going to be Briar's Love. Briar's Love, does it look and sound cool? Meh. I give it a 3. Subjective, but yeah, a 3. I don't like the green color. It doesn't sound particularly memorable. So, yeah. Does it do its job? Here I have Scout Rifle's job is safe precision damage on red bar enemies from 50 plus meters away. So really far away, really precise, uh, kill multiple red bars, one magazine. Can this do that? With its perks and traits? Yeah, and to be honest, most scouts can. So most of them will be a 3 here. When you start getting some crazy perk combinations, then you can get more, but most of these will be 3. Is it easy to get? Yes, it's easy as fuck to get. You can currently get it from doing the Season of the Witch activities, and it's craftable. How unique are the roles? Uh, 3. It's pretty stock standard for scouts at this point. Um, yeah. Let's go over its origin trait. Head rush, bad. All of the origin traits from Season of the Witch, of the Season of the Witch weapons, are bad. Head rush is terrible. I'm not even gonna explain what it does. Its ass. Destabilizing rounds, that helps AoE. So again, you kill one, it'll help you kill others. Um, that's the best AoE. If you're trying to be single target damage, then I think Golden Tricorn is the move here. Um, the only other thing I would consider would be Frenzy, just because Frenzy is really good as far as giving you all kind of other buffs. But with Scout Rifles in particular, I think you want AoE or you want like more burst damage because they don't have a lot of damage. And because of the range, you don't really have to worry about reloading fast, so I think that utility is best here. So something like Shoot to Loot and Destabilizing Rounds is my favorite pick. So to me, that would put Briar's Love at low C tier, high C tier, almost B tier. I think that its origin trait holds it back a bit because it's basically every other scout. It's just really accessible. If you do not have a Void Scout at all that is any good, Briar's Love will do you good until you can do better. Next one, contingency plan. Does it look and sound cool? Yeah, I think it looks really cool. It's like this weird sleek design. Does it do its job? Not quite as good. The archetype sounds better because it's fast rate of fire, but the DPS is just so much lower. I don't know. And it also is not as safe because it's harder to get up to 50 plus meters away. This, basically the way I look at these is like slightly longer range auto rifles. Is it easy to get? Is it craftable? It's a world drop, so it's kind of annoying to get a hold of, to be honest. And are the roles unique? Let's see. No origin trait, despite the fact that it's Feist. It is a world drop, and as far as roles are concerned, Frenzy or One for All are the only ones I would care for here, which then means that I'm going for Subsistence or Outlaw. Very simple things here. Nothing crazy, which to me means that this should be worse than Briar's Love. C tier. Doesn't make you want to throw yourself out the window, but it's just not, you know, the greatest either. Next, Doom of Kelkis. Now we're talking. Now we're getting into some big boys out here. Does it look and sound cool? Hell yeah, dude. This weird rib bone thing. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Does it do its job? Yes. This is one of the most power corrupt scout rifles in the game, in my opinion. Um, or power creep. I don't think that's the right way to say that. It's one of the most powerful scout rifles in the game. Is it easy to get one? Is it craftable? It's a 3. It's craftable, and it comes from a raid, which is why it's a 3. Um, but really good. Does it have anything that stands out perk and stack wise? Yes. It comes from a raid, so it better. And again, it comes from the King's Fall raid. This is a free to play item, so it is actually pretty easy to get a hold of. The origin trait runneth over is actually really good. Basically, what it does is the more teammates that are around you when you reload, the more magazine capacity you get. As you can see, with a max of 5 teammates around you, you get 26, which is bananas. That's really good. Just got to be around people. Um, yeah, so that's good. This fourth column, your damage to help with AoE, you have Dragonfly that helps with AoE damage. And you also have Frenzy here, which would be more just utility based. You can go one for all, which will help you with single target damage. It's nice. You even have a utility pick here in Repulsor Brace, which I normally don't really go for in the fourth column, but you have Vorpal Weapon, which helps with single target damage. So you can go single target damage and then Repulsor Brace. You have AoE with Firefly, which, yes, does do solar damage, so you can do both solar and void damage with this gun at the same time, which also helps with AoE, so you can do your job. Putting those together is pretty good as well, so you get a void explosion and a solar explosion, and Firefly also gives you reload speed, which is nice. This thing's stacked. I'll be here forever if I talk about it forever. Another thing to note real quick, another utility piece, adaptive munitions, helps you get rid of shields fast. Verdict, I think, is pretty obvious. This is S tier. It's kind of hard to say that there are many scout rifles that are better than it. If we're talking about just scout rifles and how good they are, I can't, off the top of my head, think of a scout that's better than Doom. And then we get to one of his main contenders. Good thing it's not in the same slot. Fang of Ir-Yût. So, does it look cool? Uh, I don't know. It's like a 4. I like the aesthetic. The green is a little weird to me though. Does it do its job? Hell yeah. You'll see why with the traits in a minute. Is it easy as a craftable? Same thing. It's a raid weapon. And rolls, same thing. Raid weapon. So 5. Uh, First of all, it is a rapid fire, which is not my most desired frame, but you'll see why it still doesn't matter with this gun. Is origin trait. If you get a melee final blow, then for 7.5 seconds you have a curse stall explosion, so you can blow the people up, which is AOE. Yeah. That's what we want. Range here, so you can get 70 meters ADS, and that's post or pre any range bumps at all, so you don't have to worry about that. That's good. It has Hatchling, which pairs with it, the fact that it's Strand. It has Golden Tricorn, again helps that pairs with Strand. You get the DPS there. Single target, all those are single target, but again you get the AOE here all the time, so it's really good. Sword Logic is an interesting perk, but I don't think it's good on primaries or as good on primaries. It also has high ground, but whatever. Shoot the loot for utility, we'll take that. Reround rounds, which will just help you be able to continuously fire down range, which is also good. Um, it doesn't have quite as many perks in this third column that I like. Um, but it's really good. So final verdict here, Fang, it's definitely A tier. It tried to fight Doom, but it doesn't have as many good combinations in my opinion. It's still really good though. Still really good. And it's time for the glizzy. Pause. Anyways, screenshot. Does it look slash sound cool? Nothing out of ordinary. I do like the aesthetic for Shiro's though. Does it do its job? It does. I Nothing crazy. This is a world drop, so it's not the easiest to get a hold of. But with the improvements they made to being able to go do lost sectors and master lost sectors to get these weapons and also to get them with multiple perk nodes, it's really good. It's really good. Um, and does it have any unique roles? No, I don't think so. We're gonna double check, but I don't think so. This is a precision frame. It is strand. It is a world drop. It has the zero synergy trait, which doesn't really do anything for me in PvE. I think the only thing that's useful here is the flinch resistance. And it procs after you reload for 6 seconds. Uh, Hatchling's great, and One for All is pretty good. And after that, there's nothing here. Reconstruction, I think some people will like it. I don't like it because I don't like Reconstruction on primaries. Um, Overflow and Reconstruction, similar thought process, although I do think Overflow will activate. Uh, it'll feel better when it activates because you'll know when it happens. Also, you can do it mid-fight purposefully, whereas this just kind of happens over time. The rest of these traits I don't really care about. So, final verdict on the Glizzy. It is better than Contingency Plan, worse than Briar's Love. C tier. Just nothing outstanding. The Guiding Sight. Do I think it looks cool? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, it just kind of looks like typical scout rifle, to be honest, in Destiny, which I mean, I guess is a thing, but whatever. And it looks kind of green and muddied. Yeah, that's all I really want to say about how it looks. Does it do its job? No, not that well. But it's this archetype. It shoots really slow. It's not craftable. It's kind of annoying to get a hold of because it is from Iron Banner. And are the rolls unique? Actually, yeah, the rolls are quite unique because you get it from Iron Banner. Uh, yeah, like I said a minute ago, it is a high impact, so slow fire rate, high damage. I feel like even at end game, it takes like 2, maybe 3 shots to kill red bars, which is the problem. I think they need to up its damage on red bars, but I digress. Um, it has 2 traits. Skulking Wolf is for PvP, nobody cares. And the Deer Focus basically just increases your accuracy and range, which is nice for free. My daughter's making a cameo in the background. Hatchling, that's fine. You know, not good. I mean, it's Strand, so we'll take Hatchling to tie into Strand stuff. Um, there's no AOE here, which bothers me. It's all like single target stuff. Um, Adrenaline Junkie is nice because you have demo here, so demo Adrenaline Junkie is okay. Um, that's about it though. That's about all I care about here in this column. So, final verdict on this thing. D tier. I hate it. I don't like high impact frames. It doesn't do anything special. The reason why it's special is because it is stasis. I'm sorry, strand. That's it. So no, in my opinion, don't even worry about it. The only reason you would pick it up would be for this weird little combination in PvP. That's it. All right, Hung Jury. Hung Jury. All right. Do I think it looks cool? Yes. I like the white aesthetic. Most people won't know because the game's been out for so long, but this was originally a Dead Orbit thing in D1. Very popular. Uh, it could get the Fatebringer role, which was why it was so popular, and I believe they brought that back here. If not specifically, in special ways, which is also pretty cool. Does it do its job? Fuck yes, actually. If I remember properly, this is one of the better scout rifles in the game as far as killing multiple targets with AoE damage. Is it easy to get or craftable? It's okay to get. Run Nightfalls. You can pick it up as a Nightfall weapon. And are the rolls unique? Yes. God dang it, man, I'm messing that up. Yes. So let's take a look. It is precision frame. This is one of the better frames. I think lightweight is the best for future reference, but I digress. It's kinetic, which remember they get that what 5? It's either 5 or 10% increase to damage on unshielded targets compared to every other gun, which is good. Um, it has 3 origin traits. The stun and recovery, not the greatest. Scouts are always in the artifact, so it's nice to just refill your magazine, get more recovery, get more health. That's always nice. Vanguard's Education is bad and they need to rework it. I think they need to just basically make it like a bootleg cure or something and it'll be fine. Again, just fine. Uh, yeah, like make it like half of cure or something and maybe a third of cure and it'll be fine. It'll be a pretty good perk. Um, online fluid dynamics. It makes it feel better at the top half of the magazine, which is nice, but nothing too crazy. My daughter's having a really good time in the background. You having a good time, Mama? Hmm. Anyways, so we have Kinetic Tremors or Firefly. These are your AoE perks here. Those are my favorite for this gun, to be honest. PvP, box breathing is a good shout, but that's it. Frenzy seems really good, but when you use this gun, you don't really need a small damage increase for single target. You don't care about that. And the reload speed, amongst other things, is not really the move. So yeah, so I like Kinetic Tremors and Firefly. Subsistence, I think, is a really good shout here because killing multiple enemies at once is really good. Um, Sorry, I lost train of thought. I had to pick up my baby. Subsistence is really good here because it does proc off of Kinetic Tremors damage as well as Firefly's damage. If you kill something with either one of those traits, then you will get more rounds back, which is nice. And then just killing them in general will give you the rounds back. That's also really nice. Shoot the loot, I think, is the better pick here to help add utility onto a gun that seems to have everything else that you would want. I've been talking about this gun for too long already, which probably lets you know how I feel about it. This gun is definitely, I think it's low S tier. I was gonna put it A, but I think it's really good. I might come back to it at the end, but it doesn't have a whole bunch of different traits, right? So that's a big thing, right? But the traits that it does have are wholly unique in its own. Like you don't get Firefly on anything outside of raids, so like that's a big deal. Then Kinetic Tremors is new-ish, and I, I don't know, you don't get it on a lot of scout rifles, but it does what you want your scout rifle to do, in my opinion, which is helps you get kills on red bars, and it adds AoE, which is another big thing for me in scout rifles. So S tier. Imperative. Let's see how much we like imperative here. I'm only working with one hand, so we're ditching the thing on the left, all right? So first of all, high impact. Second, Season of the Wish is where you can get it. So yes, it's very accessible. It is craftable, which helps even more. It's origin trait, nano munitions is also really helpful. You get to if you're near your teammates, you will get a stack of nano munitions. Basically, you store up your stack of nano munitions, and every time you should have no ammo, it will refill a portion of your ammo and take away a stack of nano munitions. It's basically just like a free rerun rounds. That's the way I look at it. It's like free rerun rounds for just hanging out with your friends, which is really nice. And I really like that. Ooh, gonna put my baby down. Love you. All right. So it also comes with kinetic tremors, which is probably the best trait here in my opinion. Um, Again because AOE is king on scout rifles in my opinion. So that also pairs well with subsistence and demo, as well as triple tap. Triple tap is one of the better ones because it enhances your magazine even further. If you really just wanted to go stupid, you could do deconstruction and triple tap. You do lose your AoE, but your single target damage would be ridiculous because of the way deconstruction and deconstruct and triple tap work. If I ever say deconstruction, it's because I want it to be deconstruction because it's supposed to pair with reconstruction, but I digress. Um, yeah, don't want to talk about this gun for too much longer. So, verdict B tier. It can't be any higher in my opinion because of its archetype. This high impact firing archetype is just so unwieldy, and not everybody is a big fan of it. But if there was ever a gun to try and convert people to the cult of the high impact frames, it would definitely be imperative. Next one, Jararaka. Cool to say, not that cool of a gun. It's stasis. It is a um, world drop. It is a rapid fire frame. It has Vice Stinger as a trait, which again works like 50% of the time if you remember my previous video, because I don't think I've gone over a Vice weapon yet. So those are mixed bag. All right, we got a mixed bag of positive and negatives here. Then it does have synergy with Stasis with Headstone. This also adds AoE because it's more of a delayed onset dragonfly of sorts, which is good. You also have single target damage in Golden Tricorn. You have a free bootleg rerun rounds here in Vice Stinger, and you can get 4 times the charm or a rapid hit. It has some play. It has some play. There's not a lot of other stasis scouts that'll do you great, so I think this is probably the best stasis scout. We'll see about that soon. So verdict, it has to be C tier. It's it's definitely better than Glizzy, but it's not better than Briar. I think Briar is like the benchmark here. If you can get past Briar, then you're doing pretty good. Um, yeah, next one. Last right. So this is one you get from rank ups last season. It was the ritual weapon, I think they call it now. Um, it's aggressive frame, which I haven't spoken on yet, but it shoots like a 120 hand cannon rate of fire. And they all are like old west single fire guns, which is unique. Um, it has like all of the origin traits from the different ritual activities. The best ones are in order would be Crucible, then Gambit, then the Vanguard thing. But it also has text balance stock, which if you land hip fire shots, then you can increase your reload speed and handling and a reload speed multiplier, all for around 4 or 5 seconds, which is nice. The problem is none of that shit. It is the traits. Because opening shot helps in PvP, but its archetype doesn't lend it to do anything in PvP because you basically are better off just using a 120 hand cannon. Um, Keep away also helps with that. It gives you reload speed and a little bit of range. And a little bit more accuracy as well. Again, these are all benefits for PvP. And then PvE, they gave us the worst possible PvE magazine trait, in my opinion. And they gave us one of the worst DPS traits for anything long range. I hate this gun if you can't tell. Um, it's one of the worst ones they dropped as a ritual weapon. So final verdict is that it is that don't even waste your time. D tier. Long arm, same archetype. This comes from Spire of the Watcher. It is arc. It also has the Texas Ballast stock thing origin trait. So okay. You have the AOE in Dragonfly, which again is my preferred. There are others that are solid. I think the best one would probably be Adrenaline Junkie. Really high on demand damage increase. But I would probably do Dragonfly. And then Rapid Hit requires you to continuously land headshots, which you will be doing if you're trying to get Dragonfly to proc, but that is a lot of pressure. Wellspring is nice to get more energy, but you're not going to get a bunch of kills with this gun. Compulsive Reloader, once they buffed it to be above 50% of your magazine, I think this is like highly underrated and really, really good. This alone gives you almost max reload speed. For reference, you see here your reload speed timer is 2 seconds. Um, 2.08 seconds. With just above 50% of your magazine, you will always be at 1.35 seconds. And the way you reload these guns is like 2 shells at a time. So as long as you have about 7 or you're around that, you can just shoot and just reload really quickly. This is the one. This is the trait, I think, because I know people are gonna think subsistence. I don't have to reload, but you're not gonna get a lot of kills with this gun because of the way scouts just work in this game. Compulsive reloader is the move. You pair that with text balance stock, you get a couple hip fire shots, which is something you want to do anyway because you want to be a cowboy. That's why you have this gun. It works. Um, so I'm thinking C tier. I think it's better than Glizzy. I think it's better than Jararaka, but it's not better than Brias. C tier. All right, Nameless Midnight. This one, the Everyman Scout Rifle. Precision frame. You get it from Zavala doing rank on packages and different things for strikes. It has Vanguard's Vindication, which again, bad. Rework it, please. Um, Best trait here, Kinetic Tremors. I don't think it's close. There's nothing else that's AoE or remotely AoE in my opinion. I know people are really big on explosive payload, but that should go on hand cannons, not scout rifles. Yeah, it's a constant damage bump, but a constant damage bump to a single target versus AoE, it will never be the same in my opinion for scout rifles. Always want AoE on scout rifles. And then in the third column, the only thing I really care about would be triple tap. Because compulsive reloader, again, it doesn't work the same way on this gun because as long arm because you have to reload the whole thing. So you either get the good reload speed or you don't get the good reload speed. Yeah, so just triple tap and kinetic tremors. Because this is basically the only role that is super problematic when there's 5,000 traits here. If for some reason you just really needed a scout rifle that was kinetic, you could just go run some strikes and get one that won't suck because of its frame. But I don't think that makes it great. So this is C tier, but it's below everything else. The lowest frame of C tier. The only way it would be worse is if it didn't have one of either. If it didn't have triple tap, then it would be D tier. If it didn't have kinetic tremors, it would be like Z tier or some shit. It would be absolutely useless. Next one. This is what I was talking about when I was mentioning that Joraraka was the best stasis scout. We're gonna see. This is a high impact frame, so we're starting bad. It is a world drop. It's stasis, obviously. It has Hake breach armaments, which is good specifically against constructs. Constructs include things that players make and lay down, like Ward of Dawn, the sword from Well, barricades, turrets, crystals, blah blah blah. It also works on your own crystals, by the way, which helps you break it faster, which synergizes with Headstone, which is nice. Headstone is the best trait here, and there's nothing close in my opinion. The other trait that I would recommend would be Stats for All because it is a high impact weapon. You want as much stats as possible, and if you create a Headstone um, Glacier Crystal, break it and hit 3 targets, you will proc Stats for All, which is really good. And there is no other combination that is worth it, in my opinion, despite the fact that you can get utility from Shoot to Loot because you need these stats. So, Percy's better than Joraraka. Do I think it's better than the long arm? No. So it's just better than Joraraka in my opinion, but C tier. You will notice there's a bunch of guns, scouts in C tier. It's because scouts typically, if you just get one with like some sort of AoE, it's gonna be okay, and they're all gonna do about the same thing, and it won't be that special or that different. But that's okay because it'll be doing its job, and in general, scout rifles aren't that good. So if you wanted something to do more, I would just point you away from scout rifles in general. Pointed inquiry. We're gonna make this one fast because I hate this one. High impact frame. Don't like it. It's easy to get a hold of because it's craftable and you get it from doing stuff on the throne world, which you get from having the Witch Queen DLC. It's origin trait cycle hack is actually really good. It would be great if you can proc it faster because it shot faster, but it doesn't, which is annoying. This is a utility based weapon. It does have Dragonfly, but it doesn't have a. Oh no, it has stats for all. Hold on, wait. I might be underrating this gun. It has stats for all, and it has a Dragonfly perk. That alone makes it okay. So it's pretty much on the level of Percy's D already because of that. You also have Fourth Time to Charm, which is nice, but I don't see a pairing that I like. So yeah, it would basically always be stats for all because the gun shoots too slow for me to give a damn about shoot the loot. I've tried. It would either be Statsfall and Dragonfly, or you would go for the uniqueness of using adaptive munitions here, which I don't think is worth it because you can get it on a god gun like Doom of Kelkis in the third fucking column. So, pointed inquiry, slightly worse than Percy's D because it doesn't have any void synergy. That's the only thing that's making it better. I mean, worse than Percy's D here in this situation. Next gun, Randy's throwing knife. Oh man, all those D2 PvP mains crying in their sleep because now their gun, I think, is better in PvE than it is in PvP. Anyways, uh, you get it from doing PvP, which is ironic. Kinetic, it is a rapid fire frame, so not my favorite, but its perks will help it, and the fact that it comes from PvP gives it the origin trait of one quiet moment, which is really good. Basically, it's just reload speed, and the more kills you get, the faster you get to proc the reload speed, which is when you're out of combat for X amount of time, you get reload speed. Handling and other things as well, but the reload speed is the most important thing. Now, it has kinetic tremors. This alone makes it great because you'll be able to proc kinetic tremors really fast because it's a fast firing scout rifle. You need 6 shots on scout rifles to proc kinetic tremors. This will make sure that gets done. What else in the fourth column? There are no other AoE traits here, and there's no trait that I like for a single target that's any good here. So, the only other trait here that I think is good is adaptive munitions, which is one we've talked about already, but it really would help when you're getting rid of barriers, right? Now, the interesting thing here is that it doesn't just have this to get rid of shields. I don't think another gun has this, by the way, but it also has under over, which also helps you do more damage to shields. The pure fuck you can do to shields with this gun, with this roll, is unique enough on its own for me to recommend you try and get this gun. The fact that it comes from Crucible just means you got to play a bunch of PvP, and you can have a gun that, because you can get multiple traits. If you can get under over, adaptive munitions, and kinetic tremors, none of the rest of this matters. This is like one of the best scout rifles in the game. The problem is going through all the RNG, right? Now, I do also think we should put a quick shout for a pugilist, which helps with getting some sort of regen. We like the utility here, but basically just running under, over, and either adaptive or kinetic tremors is the move for this gun. Final verdict: this this one, in my opinion, this one is definitely better than Briar's Love. Is it better than Imperative? Yes. Is it on the level of Fang of Ute? Not quite, but it's damn close. Really like this gun. Next one, Servant Leader. Interesting. It was supposed to be in alphabetical order, but I think I fucked it up somewhere. Either way, Servant Leader. So this is another rapid fire. It's kinetic. It comes from Gambit. Almost all of those things were bad things. You do get the gun and run origin trait and field tested. I like both of those. Um, and because it fires so quickly and can deal damage so quickly, this will help build up field tested, by the way. So there's no AoE, which is the thing that's gonna knock this gun down for me. It does have Frenzy, which means it has one of the better single target increases, as well as One for All, which is also nice. It also has Shoot to Loot, but I think that's kind of weird on this gun because it doesn't have that AoE, so I don't want like utility because it doesn't have the one thing I want. I need to help it with single target, which means we want fourth time's charm. So fourth time's a charm. Frenzy, I think, is the move on this gun. But that's about it. This is a C tier, just better than contingency plan, only slightly. Uh, because it's kinetic, it gets a slight increase to damage, but it's basically just contingency plan, which is sad. Um, Next gun, Staccato. All right, so Staccato. It was my love originally, but not so much anymore. It is solar. It is a world drop. It's a precision frame, and it has the Shiro's origin trait. Again, all those intrinsics, mixed bag of positives and negatives. Nothing crazy. I do like Dragonfly here, and I think I even like it more than I like Incandescent. Dragonfly is just immediate extra help with damage there, whereas Incandescent does do some more damage, but I don't think it does as much damage as it's just trying to do Scorch. So there's that. This does come with shoot to loot, which does actually go well with Dragonfly. If you didn't know, if you get a Dragonfly kill and the AoE hits the what do you call it? The ammo. My smart ass. If the AoE from Dragonfly hits the ammo, then you will automatically pick the ammo up and reload all of your weapons, which is a really cool interaction. I think the issue with this is just that it's not like super good at that. But shoot to loot is a really important perk for you to have at least a couple guns with. So, and I think it's fine to have a scout rifle with it. It makes sense. So, yeah, I think my ideal role here would be shoot to loot and Dragonfly. Also, like shoot to loot. I'm sorry, yeah, shoot to loot and incandescent. Also, like triple tap and adaptive munitions, as this will help you get rid of shields of any variety, which is also nice. And the fact that it's solar means you're probably going to be running a solar subclass, which means you're going to proc radiant, which means you're going to be able to break shields, which is nice. So, Staccato, it's definitely better than the Servant Leaders. It's definitely better than Glizzy. It's better than that, better than that. Better than is about on par with the Percys and the Inquili. So yeah, I think Scotto is a C tier. Next trait, or trait, next weapon, Tarnished Metal. Alright, so Tarnished Metal, lightweight frame, the bestest of the frames in my opinion. This arc is craftable, but you have to get it from last year's activity, which isn't available anymore, so the only way to get it would be as a drop from Azur or Banshee. But this, excuse me, this gun is worth it. I said the same thing about the sidearm last time, I think. Um, right hook is a very interesting and one of the best origin traits that they've came out with. I think this is what origin traits should aspire to be, in my opinion. You can deal melee damage, you get 10 aim assist, you get 10 range. It is interesting. It applies to what you're trying to do because it's arc and arc is kind of into the melee, but you can make it work across the board. And it's a good enough buff to make the gun feel better, but it's not a good enough buff to make it where there's no reason to not run this gun ever, right? So good, really good in my opinion, solid. It has the AOE with Dragonfly, but it has a better AOE in Volt Shot. It has Volt Shot. That is end of discussion. You want Volt Shot because you want to get one kill, reload, and then spread AOE damage everywhere. To me, that's just better than Dragonfly because it's more specific. You can apply it where you want it to, and it can chain onto itself because if you get one kill with Volt Shot, then you can reload and you have another Volt Shot shot ready to go. Um, yeah, other things here, and they synergize with the whole melee thing with Swashbuckler and all that, but yeah, don't care. Volt Shot. You also have Shoot to Loot, which is a great utility perk here. It's really nice. And you also have Demolitionist, which is also really good because the Volt Shot Jolt can kill multiple targets, giving you a bunch of grenade energy. This is one of the best scouts in the game. The problem is you cannot get it now, right? Final verdict, Tarnished Metal is, yeah, fuck it. It's going to S tier. And yes, I think it's better than Hung Jury because it has more utility with Jolt Shot. Jolt Shot can be placed better than Kinetic Tremors. Really good. Doesn't quite touch Doom of Kelkis. Having double damage perks on the scout is like ideal, but still really good. You think so too, Mama? You think it's good? Yeah. All right. Next scout. Transfiguration. Go ahead and let you know. I'm not a big fan of this one. The main reason, high impact frame. It's really a big deal for me. You get it from Last Wish rate, which is not a free to play rate. You will have to get the Forsaken pack or whatever the hell. Do it while it's on sale. Please don't buy this thing at full price. Nobody's spending $20 for like 5-year-old content. Um, it is kinetic. It's origin trait. Whenever you use a grenade, you get stacks of stability, reload speed, and reload duration multiplier. These are good things. you do have to land damage or get a grenade kill. I'm sorry, or you have to use a healing grenade of some sort, which we only have one, but whatever. I digress. To help yourself with this trait, but you're gonna use grenades often, so it's just a free bump for using your grenade. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Kinetic tremors is the move here. No, nothing else matters in my opinion. Demo is really good in third column. You can go rerun rounds. That's interesting. I can see that. Now, Rampage makes this more interesting than I think people want to give it credit for. Getting something like Rampage and Adrenaline Junkie on the same gun, having those stack up, that has to be really good at some point, right? The problem will be getting it to stack, but that's just really good. You'd never see this on something that's not a freaking high impact frame scout rifle. You just wouldn't. Real rounds is also really good here. With kinetic tremors. So basically, what I would do is I would go kinetic tremors in demo, or I would go kinetic tremors and rerun rounds, or I would go kinetic tremors and rampage. Just one of those. Because yeah, I think demo plays into that, but you're just not getting kills fast enough for it to matter. I don't think. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's transfiguration. Where would I put transfiguration? It's definitely C tier, but it's definitely better than everything other than Briar's Love, in my opinion. Go away, mama. So let's see. Next weapon. Next weapon. Trustee. Okay, Trustee is really good. I'm excited about Trustee. Rapid fire frame. I don't like that much. It comes from Deep Stone Crypt, so you have to have Beyond Light DLC to get this one. It's solar, and it's origin trait. This is one of the better origin traits in the game, by the way. You deal damage with this gun, right? And if you deal damage with this gun, you will get a portion of your abilities back by just dealing damage. Actually, fucking bananas. So anything that deals damage that you do with this gun will give you your grenade energy, your ability energy back, which means that by default, incandescent is the move. It's AOE on a scout rifle. When you get one kill with incandescent, it will spread to all the other enemies, the scorch, and the scorch counts as weapon hits, which means you'll be just raking in the ability energy. That alone, worth your time. Now, is there anything in this third column that you care about? No, and that's the disappointing thing. Pugilist to help with more reload speed. I mean, more reload speed. I'm sorry. To help with more ability energy. Would have been great if that would have been demo, but I don't know. I'll take melee energy, I guess. And rapid hit. But that's about it. Now, for this to come from a raid and to have all these problems, kind of freaking sucks, to be honest. But the origin trait hard carries this gun. So, what do I think it is? It's definitely higher than all of these. Definitely higher than Staccato. I don't think I can put it higher than Long Arm, though. So we'll leave it here in the C tier. Next weapon. We only have two more. Vision of Confluence. My brother called it Vision of Cornflakes the other day. Shit blew my mind. Never heard it a day in my life. Precision frame. It comes from Vault of Glass, which is a free-to-play raid. So that's nice. Easy to acquire. Solar. And it doesn't have a origin trait. It was too early for that. I need to go back and give those things origin traits and make them craftable, please, Bungie. I'm begging you. Firefly. I don't know why we would ask for anything else. You get AoE damage. It gives you reload speed. Firefly. Um, yeah, I mean, even just Russian Break sounds great, but then I have to swap to another weapon. It has to be kinetic. It has to be good at killing things. They have to have had a shield. Nah, fuck that. Firefly. And then, in my opinion, you just go rerun rounds because Firefly, the explosion, counts as weapon hits, which means you can get more bits of ammo back from rerun rounds with less ammo being consumed. So theoretically, if you get enough headshots and they hit enough other enemies, you can get your entire magazine back, which is crazy. I know it's weird. It's a weird interaction, but good, really good. All right. There's nothing else I care about on this gun, which kind of sucks. But where do I put vision at that point? Then it is. I I think it's better than staccato, so it has to at least go there. It's probably better than trusty. Is it better than long arm? Yeah. Is it better than transfiguration? Yeah. Briar's love? Yeah. Probably B tier. It's definitely better than imperative though. It's not touching Randy's Thorn Knife. So that's where I would stop, right? So it's definitely a B tier. Vouchsafe. Lightweight frame. Void. Doesn't say where you get it from, but you can get it from doing activities on, or from doing Forsaken activities in the Dreaming City. So Dreaming City activities, my black ass. Dreaming City activities, which would be the Blind Well. You can get it from doing this season's seasonal activities, which would be the Coil. You can get it by going around the Dreaming City and picking up chests and the plants that are there. Um, Basically, just do crap on the Dreaming City or do stuff for Riven. Yeah. Now the origin trait, advanced reflexes. This is a PvP thing. Nobody cares. It does have Dragonfly and it has destabilizing rounds. There's your AOE. That's really good. That's really good. Um, mm, in the third column, you have Force Out to Charm to help with single target DPS. And you also have Stats Raw, which paired with either Dragonfly or Destabilizing Rounds helps with the stats on the gun. Although the stats aren't that bad, so I don't know. I'm not sure if I would like lean too heavily into that. But to get almost max handling for free is nice. And then you would max out your handling by just aiming down sights after getting damaged with advanced reflexes, which is nice. But I think the real move here is to get Repulsor Brace. This is the easiest access we've had to Repulsor Brace Destabilizer Rounds combo, which basically just gives you a Void shield while not running Void if you don't want to, which is really good. Um, yeah, so I think Destabilizing Rounds of Repulsor Brace is really good here. I think that Destabilizing Rounds and Dragonfly are the main traits you want over here. And then if you're going for something single target, you want Golden Tricorn because that's the best single target. And probably Repulsor Brace. Um, and then if you just wanted to be weird or different, then you go like 4 times the charm and attrition orbs so that you can just make orbs at your opponent's body. But I think attrition orbs needs to go with something else. I think attrition orbs needs some help. It needs something. I don't know what it needs, but it needs something. Yeah, so the last one, where do I think you land? Are you better than Briar's Love? As a better archetype, it's not as easy to get a hold of. You have the best utility you can have on a Void Gun. Yeah, it's definitely better than Briar's Love. It's better than Imperative. It's a better archetype. It's about as easy to acquire. Yeah, so like A tier then? Are you better than Randy's? Do you have more utility than Randy's? Yeah. No, it's about the same. This is about the same utility as Randy's. So I would say it's A tier. There we go. We're done. We did it. The sad thing is there are no solar weapons here in A tier. There's no real stasis scouts that are in A tier, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah. So before the video gets too long, that's it. I did say I was gonna think about whether or not I think that Hung Jury should be A or S tier. Yeah, definitely stays in S tier. It's definitely the best kinetic scout rifle. With its only competition being the new Imperative, which is a bad archetype, and the new Transfiguration, which also bad archetype. So, um, yeah, Doom stands above all. Everybody praise the Cult of the Doom of Kelkis. If you see a tarnished metal with um Jolt Shot, go get that shit. And I'll do videos on my A and S tier weapons at some point. Later.